Yo, yo, yeah, yo. We back. Be a Voice Radio. Wisconsin Voices. 860 WNOV 106.5 FM. Good morning, y'all. Great to be back. How y'all doing in the building? I guess we'll get to y'all first.
I can't complain.
I got my Milwaukee looking glasses on today. You know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Understand me?
Yeah, understand me. I don't know what I'm doing. Look, I'm about 10 years too late for that energy. Yeah, but yeah. That's a little representation for the MKE today. How was everybody's weekend before we get into all the fun stuff?
Well, man, it was great for me because being safe, staying safe, throughout the week, and then weekend, and then making some money playing at the packing house.
He said making some
yes, sir.
Money.
Playing at the packing house, and then the Packers won, so that's a great weekend for me, bro.
Man, that Packer win, all the little events in between, and just some things that was going on in the city. Yeah, it's always, and it was sunny, so we had a little overcast here and there, but for the most part, the sun is out, so we might as well take advantage of every sunny day we got up until 9 to the end of this quarter. So, how about you, Byron? How was your weekend?
Man, it was great, man. I ain't really do too much, just kick back, was chilling, waiting on football. Yeah, I'm just happy it's football every day now.
Yeah, it was definitely going down yesterday. I enjoyed it. I mean, the kickoff on Thursday was nice with Eagles and Cowboys.
Yeah.
Watching that game, they had a little rain out, but that was cool though. Checking that, and then just seeing, folks was getting shut down, man. Some folks was getting humbled at the beginning of the season already, but I enjoyed watching them games. Shout out to everybody who hosted them Packer parties and games. I seen y'all yesterday all across the city and dressed down in new Packer gear, so y'all spending money too in this interesting time. I also went to a few events this weekend. Do want to also shout out to just the city of Milwaukee for some things that they hosted. I'm gonna talk about it in a minute, but it's just nice to see the consistency of things being developed in the city in certain spaces. As much as we want to see development in a lot of other spaces, but it's good to see that they at least trying to make some things pop or some things shine, especially on the north side or northwest side or anything like that. So good morning, Milwaukee, again to Be a Voice Radio. Again, I'm Bryan Sanders, community outreach organizer for Wisconsin Voices. So you tuned in to Be a Voice Radio. We break down the headlines and make sense of how they touch our everyday lives. So today we cover a lot. Before we get into our guests, we do have Mr. Dan Cross on from Milwaukee Revitalize Milwaukee, whatever way. Tell you, did I say it wrong? I know you probably listening. But we got Mr. Dan Cross coming on today, talk about some updates and some resources for the community. We also will have Rashad on from Painter Pro USA, and he's talk about a Milwaukee youth event that he'll be having on. So that'll be on the second half and the third half, or the third quarter of the show. So we're going to talk about just some things going on, schools facing major shortfalls, political drama in Madison, your tax dollars and how they work in our stadiums and infrastructures, and even some national headlines from the Trump administration that could affect us here at home. So let's walk through it together. As far as MPS shortfalls and the $100 million gap, let me start close to home with that. Milwaukee Public Schools could be looking at a $100 million shortfall as soon as next year. Looking at Superintendent Brenda Casellas is already warning lawmakers. So think of it as your household budget. Rent keeps going up, grocery costs more, the light bill climbs, but your paycheck stays the same. Eventually you come up short, and that's what MPS is facing. This gap isn't filled. If this gap isn't filled, it could mean fewer teachers, bigger class sizes, or cuts to after school programs. And this just isn't about today's students. It's about, of course, tomorrow's workforce, our city's future leaders. The shortchanging them has, of course, consequences for all Milwaukee. So we'll be talking about that and looking into, MPS and what will be going on with them as well, and seeing how Superintendent Brenda Casellas is working with lawmakers. Or state politics, who's going to be making the rules up there? Meanwhile, in Madison, there's another tug of war brewing. Republicans want more control over state agency rulemaking. Democrats say this will weaken the governor's authority. And there's a way to picture that. Imagine you own a restaurant, your kitchen manager makes the recipes and runs the back of the house. But now the owner wants to improve every single dish before it leaves the kitchen window. Slows everything down, right? That's the struggle happening right now in the state government. It could make responding to issues like healthcare or education much lower as well. So we'll be looking into that and seeing how that will be playing out locally within the state government. We did have some other topics going on up at the Capitol as far as Representative Sylvia Ortiz Velez. It looks like in Madison there were some ongoing discussions about how much control lawmakers should have over state agencies, but others, as far as Representative Sylvia Ortiz Velez recently left the Democratic caucus months after an internal conflict. She was temporarily restricted from entering the Capitol due to a questionable threat, which was later determined not to be credible. These developments highlight two important things: the checks and balances in the government and the internal dynamics of how legislative groups work together. So while it seems complicated, it affects how quickly and efficiently laws and programs can be implemented. So everything from local schools, funding to healthcare services, on smooth legislative processes. And we need as much support from the lawmakers as we can at the Capitol. So as well as Wisconsin Voices will be following up and making sure that we definitely cover these topics in more detail as they come to us. On the federal level, Governor Tony Evers has expressed concern over proposed budget changes that could reduce funding for programs in Wisconsin. These include support for schools, public health, and community services. When federal funds are reduced, states often have to make a tough choice: either cut programs, as we've seen in the past, raise local taxes, as we've seen real recently, or find ways to fund services. For example, reduced education funding might mean fewer after school programs or less support for early childhood education. Healthcare reductions could also impact Medicaid or senior services as well. And we have seen that in some spaces this year, of course. Governor Evers is also encouraging Wisconsin congressional delegations to review these proposals carefully and consider how changes would affect local communities. It's also a reminder that federal decisions can have a very real impacts right here at our home. And y'all know that we've seen it already in a lot of spaces across the country. So with some of these federal guidelines or new federal restrictions hitting us locally. Meanwhile, we do have some other news. There's some interesting news going on as far as our American Family Field. Go a little local. Let's talk about some of the stuff that's going on locally with American Family Field and taxpayers ahead of schedule. Switching gears to sports infrastructure, Milwaukee City and county taxpayers are actually ahead of schedule on payments for American Family Field. That is the home of the Brewers for people who don't do the baseball. Thanks to higher than expected sales tax revenue, both the city and county are paying more than planned. This year alone, instead of the $4.9 million budgeted, they're each on pace to pay over $5.7 million. So shout out to y'all. Think of it like making extra payments on your mortgage because you have some worked overtime. As you do know, of course, you're paying down the debt faster. The long-term picture of this: the city and county are slated to contribute $67.5 million through total through 2050 to keep the Brewers here. And stadium upgrades like bleachers are costing more than expected. Kind of like renovating your kitchen and suddenly seeing the bill climb. As we know, for our people who do a lot of renovating, our folks out here that work in that space, you know how things can change quick. You go behind that wall and you see that pipes or that support system ain't what it was. It's time to go back to the drawing board. So even if you don't attend these games, you already know your sales taxes and your dollars are tied up in the stadium. So being ahead of schedule is good. A rising cost could eat away at that progress. So we do know we've seen the tariffs and how that has changed things. On another note, locally, it looks like construction begins on Milwaukee's $17 million cruise dock. I did see them breaking ground for that. Was that last week, I'm guessing? And we're talking about another investment. Speaking of big investments, Milwaukee's building a brand new South Shore cruise dock. Construction is underway on this $17 million project, which would be Milwaukee's third designated cruise ship dock. Now, I've seen the cruise ship docks. We've seen them. Looks like they're bringing in light tourism to Milwaukee. I know a lot of people was like, how are we getting cruise ships through, the Great Lakes? There is a strait somewhere in there where they're able to get out into the open water from Lake Michigan, and then they're actually able to pass through back to Milwaukee from the what's going on, my brother? We are able to pass through and come through and do that as well. And we able to see that process and actually be a part of that. So I think it's kind of cool that they bring it out here. I'm just hoping that that we can get that money back within that 17 million. So hopefully we can bring in the port, the newest, and I believe the first black port director, Port of Milwaukee director. So I would love to have her in. So if anybody has a contact with her, let's bring her in. If not, we will definitely be reaching out to you just to hear about the updates and what this will look like for the city. So here's why that does matter. The dock is designed for the largest cruise liners on the lakes, meaning more tourism stepping off into Milwaukee's restaurants, shops, and attractions. They're going to have to do some upgrading around that South Shore area to make sure that there is some attractions. If they're building one in that South Shore area right now, there's not too many attractions over there. So it looks like you're going to have to be putting some bars, lounges, or something on the water right there. And speaking of that spot where they did put this, I was thinking that the museum would have looked way better in that spot where they put in this dock. That's just me. I'm just saying, Chicago has some museums that sit off the water. It would have been nice to have like our public museum sitting off the water versus on the corner of 6th Street. But that, again, Bryan Sanders' opinion. That is nobody else's. I'm just saying that, we kind of smashing too much in one space. But as far as this dock, you can handle more visitors here. Of course, that $17 million is a lot of taxpayer money. So the question is, will be whether the dock brings enough tourism and economic boosts, of course, justify the investment. That's what it comes down. And it looks like this money is being, it's coming from more than one spot. So I don't think it's all on taxpayers, but we'll be talking about that as well. Now, let's transition to some of this good stuff before we take our first break. The national updates. So we covered a lot of local headlines, but as far as our schools, the financial strains, to the stadium upgrades, to even our new cruise dock. So all of these show how our city and our county are moving, changing, and sometimes struggling to keep up with the growth in budgets. But let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. What's happening on the national stage. This weekend, the Trump administration made headlines that could affect everything from immigration policy to our wallets here in Wisconsin. So let's break it down so you can understand how these national moves might touch your life. It might even affect you a little bit here at home. So as far as immigration enforcement intensifying, President Trump administration launched a new wave of immigration enforcement targeting sanctuary cities like Boston and Chicago. Over 1,500 arrests have been made or happened in Boston alone. Chicago can see federal forces, including National Guard, deployed to assist. And of course, the local leaders have opposed this, citing safety concerns. And I even seen salt trucks being placed in certain places so they could cut off or break off from ICE being able to enter certain places in Chicago. So I thought that was, a strategy that seemed like it could work to a certain extent. But, then you're just pushing the administration to maybe respond more forcefully in that space. But for everyday people, these impacts immigrant communities and raises questions about safety, legality, and of course local federal power. But the Chicago forces, we have seen a lot of threats towards Chicago this past weekend. Some questionable memes even coming out from different administration offices reflecting in what's going on. But the federal appeals court just in some legal setback areas, the federal appeals court did upheld over $83.3 million defamation judgment against President Trump. This adds to the legal challenges he faces during his second term. As far as foreign aid and funding disputes, the Trump administration asked Supreme Court to weigh in on disputes over $5 billion in foreign aid funding. The lower court had ordered release by the end of September, but the administration wants to freeze that decision. And we, of course, we'll bring you more updates about that. They're mentioning federal funding for foreign aid funding being changed last week. And I know that was a big topic and a big headline. Now, we are seeing these tariffs and the tariff refunds, and they talk about the different phases of how these tariffs have been impacting us. So if these tariffs are ruled illegal, and this just says that tariff refunds could reach over $70 billion. If these tariffs are ruled illegal, the Treasury may have to refund nearly half of the money collected. Now, that's tens of billions of dollars, which could impact the federal budget and indirectly programs in Wisconsin. So if they see that these tariffs that were passed don't look like they're legit, that's a lot of money being returned for that. And we'll be keeping in tabs on that and what's going on in the coming weeks with that as well. Now, as far as that area, we, of course, want to make sure we bring you all the Lagos targets. But there you have it. Milwaukee schools under financial strain, capital drama shaping state politics, your tax dollars working in the stadiums and the cruise docks, and now national updates that could ripple all the way down to us. These are just saying headlines that we bring in. These are about what's going on in your community, your money, and of course your neighborhood and how your money is being spent, and of course our overall future. We want to make sure that we bring the latest information. We want to hit you with the hardest or the roughest, but we'll make sure that it is accurate, and we want to make sure that we know that Wisconsin Voices here is doing our best to stay in the loop of the political scene and of course the community scene. So if you got any updates that you want to bring us or anything, you can reach out to me at Bryan at wisconsinvoices.org, or if it's anything that you feel like we need to highlight in this nonpartisan political space. And any other questions, y'all can just tap in with me. You already know where we at. Be a Voice Radio, Wisconsin Voices. I think it's a good time to go ahead and transition to our first break. What you think, Jermaine? Let's do it. All right, y'all. When we come back, we'll bring on two of the guests, Dan Cross and Mr. Rashad from two of the organizations locally here in Milwaukee. Talk to them and see what they got going on in their neck of the woods. You're gonna Be a Voice Radio, Wisconsin Voices. See y'all in a second. All right, y'all. Welcome back to Blue Voice Radio, Wisconsin Voices. Bryan Sanders here, community outreach organizer for Wisconsin Voices, and hope y'all having a great start to your day. Whatever you're doing, you're feeling great. We got two brothers in the studio with us, getting it right out here in the community, staying busy. I just met one of these brothers this past week. Just going to a African American Affairs event. I want to also shout out to the city of Milwaukee for hosting that event Friday, the launch of the African American Affairs. I guess you could say center or location on Fond du Lac. You had your political leaders, your community leaders. I want to shout out to 414 Life. Shout out to the Promise Keepers. Shout out to our local Common Council, hardworking individuals all across the city that were up in there doing their thing. Great people, a lot of great individuals in there. Just definitely want to shout y'all out. That seeing y'all in the mix, doing your thing, being supportive of new city buildings, and everybody else that was in there, and also. Definitely want to shout out to everybody that tapped in with Wisconsin Voices to let us know things that's going on in the community. I love that. So we're gonna get back to the interviews. Got a lot of time left, and we got some good time with some folks. So I'm gonna try to introduce yourselves, and then we'll just go into a little bit about you, and then some of the work that y'all are doing here in the community. So this guy's been on. We'll wait. We bring with you, Mr. Washington. So go ahead, tell the folks who you are, and we'll take it from there.
Hi, everybody doing? My name is Rashad Washington. I'm with Pro Painter USA, born and raised Milwaukee. We are in the commercial capacity of painting, and residential, and then we also have a commercial roofing company called DeCoven Roofing, where we do commercial and residential roofing, which is Black owned as well.
Nice.
In my past life, I used to have a workforce development training program called Pro Trade Job Development.
Okay.
We did that for 5 years.
Nice.
Trained over 250 people. And at the end of the day, the goal and objective then, as well as it is now, just to bring the resources that's surrounding us together so we can grow and expand.
I like that. I appreciate that. Thanks for the clarity. What's up, brother?
Not a whole lot, man. No, I'm kidding. There's a whole lot going on.
Yeah, what's going on? Tell the folks who you are, and then
Sure.
we'll take from there.
Okay. Yes, I'm Dan Cross. I'm from Revitalize Milwaukee. I am the construction and lead specialist.
All right, cool. All right, my brother. So before we get into y'all work, because I know y'all got lives, who are y'all? Like, all right, Rashad, who are you?
I'm a father.
All right.
A father of 4 kids.
Mm-hmm. Sound like somebody I know.
I'm a father of 4 kids, man. I wouldn't say product of environment in a negative way, but a product of our environment just from all of the good things that's been going on throughout time. You get what I'm saying?
Like
it's a disconnect in links, but the resources are out here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an outgoing person in terms I love to get involved in things. I love to travel.
Mm-hmm.
I consider myself an investor in people, places, and things. You know what I mean? So I have partnerships. My background is in real estate, construction. I love to travel the world, and I love to expose people to new things.
Yeah. Sound like somebody I know. So
Let's
speaking of y'all sound like y'all might be cousins or something. All right, so before we get to talking all crazy and stuff, let me get the dude over here. Go ahead, folks. I'll say folks. Go ahead. Tell the folks who you are.
Well, I'm someone that's born and raised in Milwaukee. I'm a military veteran.
Thank you for your service.
Welcome. I specialize in project management. Mainly in construction, so construction management. I'm a father as well to 4. So,
but
nah, I try to make it a mission to just inform residents of the different resources that are in the city that not everyone might not either know how to go about it.
Mm-hmm.
But so I try to do my best to educate others, specifically homeowners, on the process to access those resources.
Nice. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So let's get into the good stuff. So whoever wants to go, what y'all got going on, and we can start talk about it in whatever space that you feel is appropriate.
So I came up here today pretty much to try to request some help on getting the word out that unfortunately, we're not receiving a lot of the help that we need for the past storm that we had just about a month ago.
Mhm.
And there are still people that are still feeling the burden of it.
Yeah.
So Revitalize Milwaukee has partnered with Greater Milwaukee Foundation and United Way, Red Cross, and a few other partners.
Mhm.
And they have blessed us with some funding
Mhm.
to go out and assist those that's been affected by this storm.
Okay.
Specifically, we're targeting those in the Zilber neighborhoods, but we are open to those outside of that neighborhood as well.
Okay.
What's considered a Zilber neighborhood?
Oh man, so
great question.
Look,
Great
people
question.
might not know where the money
That
is.
was my next question too.
So around the areas of like outside of Washington Park,
yeah,
outside of Armani, I believe Walnut Way is part of Zilber.
Okay,
I think so. Yeah, and the area of like Burnham Park area.
Okay.
So like Forest Home area.
Okay.
There. So yeah.
How's been the response when it comes to I know I've been talking to you a little bit off the record, but how's it been within y'all work? It seemed like you've been on a lot of missions and tours the last
I've been wearing a lot of hats lately.
Yeah, I know. It seemed like it because we usually have our little midday convo to catch up on certain days, and it seemed like you just been locked in. So
getting in where I fit in.
Yeah. So what's been going on that tip? Like how's it been since the flood and what have you seen?
So it definitely has been very political.
Yeah.
As far as just getting people the help that they need.
Mm.
And we are definitely seeing the effects of capitalism with it as well. As far as like with these insurance companies, not really wanting to help their insurees.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically, it's just trying to educate people on like what words to use, what words not to use if you are trying to file an insurance claim. And then not only that, just pretty much, Milwaukee got to help Milwaukee. So, and it takes those that live in this city to actually come together to help one another, because not a lot of people gonna help us until we start helping ourselves, really.
Yeah.
So my mission right now has just been pretty much just to get immediate response to those who've been affected, as far as helping those who specifically need debris and bulky items removed, whether it's exterior or interior. And then on top of that, help build an assessment of the damages that have occurred, specifically MEP. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with that, with mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. So there's a lot of people out here with no hot water right now.
Still?
Yeah, and it sucks because the moment you call the manufacturer of that water heater and you say, I had a flood in my basement, it voids out that warranty. And it sucks because the water heaters are really expensive. And then the mechanical parts on like people's HVAC system, are failing from that. And a lot of people may not know how to really get it back operating. So just providing some mechanical assistance to help those things get back running. And and then electrical, which is very huge too, because you need electricity for both of those things to actually run. So, trying to tell a lot of people that there are resources out there. Please call Revitalize Milwaukee so we can point you to the right resources and right point of contacts to help get some things resolved in their homes.
There's been a lot of clean outs still that needs to be
a ton.
You seen?
So my main is, about that. Yeah, so I've been tasked with this initiative.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to, this goes out to a lot of contractors out there. If you do debris removal, demo, please do call Revitalize Milwaukee and partner with us, because we have a lot of people who need things removed. So I'm trying to get us build pretty much checkpoints around the city where you can just drop things off that's been affected by the flood, and then I can have a crew come out there and also get those things and dispose those. I know a lot of these homeowners, a lot of homeowners in the city are either elderly, disabled veterans, or there's a lot of single mothers out here who it might be hard for them to actually get a lot of stuff done with their busy days and things
Mhm.
like that. So just trying to
get
put out there.
Yeah, I know, because I think about that. I think about the ones that don't have any family and support here like that.
Yeah.
Folks that have moved to Milwaukee don't have those type of contacts and people like that. It's young and old, like you said. Our seniors, a lot of seniors here don't have some of the responsive family members like, you know, some of us been blessed with, or some of the extra help. So
Right.
that's like you said, that's some digging into, you know, like going door to, may even have to go door to door, and some more door to door across our city, because all that stuff is going to create more mold and fungus and different respiratory issues in the long run.
You know, we have a severe asthma program where I come in and set your home. If you have a child that has severe asthma, I can come assess the home, and we can offer up to almost $5,000 of repairs.
Wow.
Yeah, that's great info right there. If y'all got any questions, 414-444-5253, just in case if y'all got any questions or comments for Rashad or Dan here. All right, thanks, Dan. Appreciate that. Now, Rashad, what's going on? I'm gonna come back to you too as well, Dan. But what's going on with Rashad? What y'all got going on? When I ran into you, I met this brother, just to give a little backtrack for everybody, like, you know, the best way to connect is just stepping in certain uncomfortable spaces, and I usually do that for myself a lot. So I seen this brother; he was sitting there having a conversation with 2-3 other brothers in a hallway. So I wanted to come and see what see what these brothers was like. They was all welcoming, and this guy right here was the one that, you know, we probably hit it off the most. And he said that he was doing some great things in our city, and I'm never passing up people that's doing stuff for our people and our youth in our city. So thank you again for being receptive. And also just thank you for wanting to come in so quick after your workouts. So shout out to you, my brother. So yeah, what you got going on, Rashad?
Man, I greatly appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because as you were saying, like before we got on the mic, it's like about making things happen. So when you called, I said I might as well do it. Why push it off and things like that to come in here? So basically, with us being a commercial painting company, we was blessed to paint King High School last year. We painted the entire King High School.
Now I got to go back and pay attention to the inside.
The entire inside, locker rooms, bathrooms, hallways, classrooms.
So what month did y'all do that? Because
this was last year.
Okay, all right.
Last year, the whole summer.
The whole summer.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's wild, because I mean, I ain't been in King since I did this. We did this political tabling at King in like the beginning of the winter. So I know I probably missed it then. So
okay.
So I gotta walk through and check it out.
We literally started June 17th, the day of my birthday, and we finished somewhere around August. So when we painted King High School, you know how those posts go around where they like cafeterias look like prisons.
Mm-hmm.
So when they were repainting it, it was go look just like it looked, like a prison.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, this is one of the top schools.
It is.
The floor is nice. Like, this is my idea of what y'all should do. Take these colors out of the floor, change the pillars, and so on and so forth. They was like, the principal was like, that's a good idea. Can you submit a change order?
Mm-hmm.
I submitted the change order. I submitted the change order, and they didn't approve it.
Okay.
And it was somewhere close to about $10,000. And I was like, you know what? We doing so good on this project. We go donate those services for free.
Oh, that's love.
So when we did that, JCP, which is a Black-owned commercial construction company, they had got together and behind my back went to the mayor as well as the county exec, and they had got us our own day in honor of what we did. So my thing is okay, well, this is our first year technically of celebrating it. And I'm like, okay, I want to do a give back, because every year we try to give back to somebody. So this year we decided that with our relationships that we looking to grow, because I want to begin to work more with the youth in the future. I was like, you know what, we go donate our painting services to the Boys and Girls Club this year.
Nice.
And when I reached out to them, I'm like, what can we do beyond what we do? And that's where the idea came in. I was talking to Montreal Kang. I'm sure y'all know who he is.
Shout out to Montreal.
And we was just talking about fatherhood. And I was listening to him. I'm like, man, we do a lot, but how is all of this coming together? It's like parents are helped over here, kids are helped over here, fathers are helped over here, but nobody is helped collectively together. And I'm like, okay, well, for our event, I'd like to bring, and this is happening September 27th from 12 to 4 p.m. I figured this as a father, and I'm sure y'all got kids that y'all can relate. Anything that my kids need, I have that as a resource, or I have an association of resources. The community as a whole don't have that. And that's where we have problems at. Like, people want to get their kids and stuff, but they don't know who to connect to.
Yeah,
they don't know where,
a big thing.
And things like
it's
that.
A big thing here
so
too.
I said, if we can get all of these resources from coaches in every capacity, from tech to sports, if we can get therapists in every capacity, if we can get just people in the education field that can take people from graduation to a career in some capacity, if we could get literally, I thought about everything you could think of as a father of what type of resources we need, right? And I'm like, if we can bring all of those resources in here, from life skills, like I thought about, even as an entrepreneur, I may not be able to hire somebody, right? But it's so much wisdom, knowledge, and experience I could give to a young person of how to get into the trades. I probably can direct them to some of my friends that I know where they want to be at. But we got to create the environment for people to be able to ask those questions. And it's not necessarily always associated around programming so much so as it is fellowship. Because the key to all of this is networking, and networking is nothing but a hyped up word of fellowshipping. You know what I mean? So that's what this event is about. I don't know what it's gonna look like, what the turnout is gonna be, but at the end of the day, somebody's gonna get the help that they need.
Yeah. You tapping into one. That's a success story, because you just never know. I like that, and that's and I like that this organization, the company is coming from a different approach. You don't really see too many not even painting companies, black owned painting companies at that, but then them incorporating their skills and their talents into, pushing that out there into the community. And that's another way needed. Now, when it comes to this this event, are you gearing towards a certain demographic?
No, it is literally open to the community.
Okay.
Because I feel, again, a kid, like I the individual Terrell Morgan that did the artwork on the side of the building. I said, bro, I need you in that room. Because at the end of the day, you can show a kid that's an artist how far this can go. That they may not see that. You get what I'm saying? So we're trying to tap into everybody, because we don't know the capacity in which someone, you know what I'm saying, could need the help and how far it can go.
All right, I appreciate that. All right,
let me
go ahead. Yeah, please share whatever.
So I am looking for sponsors, community sponsors for sure. Anybody that offer any type of program, and we looking for you. If you are, like I said, a coach, a teacher, just a resource, a retired individual, because again, it's so much wisdom and connection that you can give. We'd love for you to join us and be a part of this program.
Y'all heard him. Say it again.
September 27th from 12 to 4, we will be at the Boys and Girls Club on Sherman and Burleigh. We are looking for volunteers. We are looking for folks that can hold space for our community to help the community. Long story short.
I like that. I appreciate that. All right, cool. We'll be back with these two, Dan Cross and Rashad Washington from MK. Let me say it right. Revitalize Milwaukee, or Milwaukee. Did I say it right there? Dan, excuse me. All right. And Mr. Washington, Rashad Washington from Pro Painters USA. Did I say that right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
all right.
Sir.
Be Voice Radio, Wisconsin Voices. We'll be back in a second. Welcome back to Be a Voice Radio, Wisconsin Voices. Just finishing up the time here with Dan Cross from Milwaukee Revitalize and Mr. Rashad Washington from Pro Painter USA. What's going on, y'all? So I know y'all got some other things in the mix before we get back to Mr. Washington. Mr. Cross, what you got going on, and what's some other areas that you was speaking about?
Definitely. So we have Revitalize Milwaukee has an event going on this week, September 11th. From 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. at the Harley Davidson Park. It's sponsored by Home Depot, Milwaukee Tool, Harley Davidson, and Revitalize Milwaukee. It's just our way of just letting the community know, hey, we still here, and just want to be able to give everybody a space to just come out and hang out and meet each other. This is a free event, so there will be live music, no entry or anything like that. And There will be a ton of food trucks out there.
Nice.
But yeah, please do come show your faces, come meet us. We do have applications there too. And not only that, you can just come and learn more about our process and the different resources that we have to offer. But only way we can get that out there unless the people actually come and, show up and
pull up. Yeah. Pull up. Yeah.
So again, September 11th. At Harley Davidson Park from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m.
That's gonna be a reason to go to that park. I still haven't been there, even just to take pictures and stuff like that.
Real talk.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna pull up and check this out. What's this? September 11th. Okay, 6:30 to 9:30. Nice. Yeah,
and we have Milwaukee Tool Band there playing too. They do a bunch of soul and rock covers.
Home Sweet Home.
Yeah.
Milwaukee Tool Band, the Tool Shed Band. Okay,
Tool Shed, yeah.
The Tool Shed Band. All right, let me stop. All right, yeah, I like that. All right, thank you for that update. Anything else that you want to let the people know? Because I know you gotta ride out.
Please do call Revitalize Milwaukee. Go to our website at revitalizemilwaukee.org. Just please do call us. I'll make sure I leave the number with you guys and everything.
Yeah. What's your phone number?
My direct office number is 414-312-7531. It's 414-312-7531. But please do call us. We don't want this money just sitting.
No, right. You got to spin that up. All right, cool. Yeah, I appreciate that. So yeah, thank you for the updates.
Again, you don't have to live in a Zilber neighborhood. So
okay,
please do call us.
Share. Can you share about that asthma program you were talking
severe
about?
asthma program? So so we're partnering with DHS Health, Department of Health Services, and what we do is so there's a lot of cases of kids that have asthma, severe asthma, and basically what the city or the health services has made an initiative to go into these homes so you don't have to be a homeowner either. You can be a renter, but it's to come into these residents and find out what's been triggering these kids' asthma and try to make that home safer for them to breathe. So, I go into these homes and I'm checking, like, if you got carpet. I might recommend, hey, we should probably take the carpet out, or let's get some air purifiers in here, or some dehumidifiers and take some moisture out, or this home has a lot of drapes. Let's remove the drapes and put vinyl blinds in instead. Just educating people on how to clean.
So, do you ever recommend them treating the vents?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, specifically. Actually, that's always the first thing that I check.
Okay, yeah.
I go in and check the HVAC system to see how old those filters are and things like that.
Man,
and make sure that they're using the right filters.
Right.
Yeah.
True.
Bet. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah,
yes,
right.
Air breathing and the air quality is extremely important. We got a lot of kids in Milwaukee with asthma. A lot of young adults with
A
asthma.
lot of people got asthma.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm starting to find out more and more people. I was talking to somebody the other day. They was like, "Yeah, my asthma." I'm like, "You got asthma?"
Yeah. They even link eczema to asthma.
Really?
Yeah.
I've seen people with eczema and asthma.
Yeah.
I do know people with eczema and asthma.
And that's a lot of that is tied to dairy.
Yeah, and dairy is a huge dairy
Mhm.
causes a lot of issues.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
mucus.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Like Jack yesterday.
He tried to fact check me. He tried to back Jack yesterday. He said, I haven't seen anything that says dairy causes mucus. And I know it does.
It
But
does.
you
Okay,
can
that's
feel it like
what
when you
it
have
is.
some things.
100%.
Yeah, certain things
Those
that you
noses
take.
start
Yeah.
running.
Man, for real, I ain't
So now
smelling.
he's going to experiment. My neighbor, he's going to do an experiment where he's not going to take any dairy.
Oh, he
while
gonna see
got
the
his
difference.
Code, and I was like, watch how quick your code go away.
Man.
Yeah, because with all of that mucus, man, that's where where the sickness is.
100%.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shout out Dr. Sebi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
All right. So, Rashad, what about you, sir? Anything you want to end it with the folks? We got a few more minutes.
Really nothing comes to mind offhand, to be quite honest. Is the only thing I could think of is if anybody is looking to contact me regarding this event, you can find me on social media under Rashad Washington Sr. under Facebook and Mr. Washington 83 on Instagram. And again, we're looking for, you hear, this is what I'll say. You hear a lot of organizations say, man, people don't know about us. They don't hear about us and things like that. I'm trying to create that ability for people to get connected to them. Because I know it's a lot of great things going on out
We
here.
got to keep breaking them silos down, man. That's one of my main little topics or headlines. I like to, just one of my little quotes, man. I'm doing my best in these spaces to break down the silos and wherever space I can. If I have to do it right now from this radio space, and I've been blessed to be able to talk on the radio for an hour, I'll take it. But if I'm bringing folks together, or if we just creating new connections and new relationships just off of what folks are listening to and hearing while they ride or going through the city, that's good enough for me. So I'm always about breaking silos down. Milwaukee, we got to keep breaking down, keep networking. We're not going to become that outstanding city full of great black people until we start connecting together besides the ones that's already doing it. We know who y'all are. Shout out to y'all that's doing it. But we want to keep doing it, and we want to keep bringing these folks in that don't feel like they have a voice or don't feel like they know how to reach out and get these resources like
100%.
a Dan Cross or like a Rashad Washington. So I want to thank y'all for keep doing what y'all doing. And I know it take a lot of work to go in these mixes like you, Mr. Cross, and going into these places like you, Mr. Washington. But thank y'all for having that and just standing as being solid men and solid black fathers in the community. We need that too. We need more of that and more representation of that, even though it's great representations all through our city. We can keep having more representation in the black community. So again, thank y'all.
Appreciate it.
For sure.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you too, Jermaine, for being an outstanding black citizen, black man of America as well.
Well, I try every now and again.
Right. We all have our days, right? Yeah. So yeah.
Trying, that becomes repetition.
Yeah.
That's it.
First she goes to see.
Dust yourself off and try it again.
Great Leah. All right, y'all. Well, thank y'all. I appreciate it.
Man.
We at that point. 3 minutes left. Looks like for the rest of the week. Oh, tomorrow we got a pretty cool show. We'll have David Bowen on, Executive Director David Bowen from Wisconsin Voices on, and then we'll have Sam from All Bowling is Local. We're going to talk about some things going on in the community with them trying to take our boxes again, man, and our mail-in boxes and change some of the just the voter suppression that we've been seeing in the past. It's just. It's still there.
Happening behind closed doors right now.
Oh, best believe. I mean, a lot of it is you see it with the redistricting across the country in different spaces. But we just got to make sure that folks are aware. And this is the time right now. We're going into election seasons coming up. February 2026. We have some elections popping off here in the state. So we'll be, having more elected officials, more people that work in the political spaces and community spaces to come on and talk to y'all and just keep y'all aware of what's going on. Things are changing every day. So that's why we're always shifting political conversation, because we never know who or what is going to be causing some more. I want to say hysteria, but some more interesting drama in the nation or locally. So other than that, thank y'all again for tuning in to Be a Voice Radio, Wisconsin Voices. Bryan Sanders here. And again, tomorrow we'll have David Bowen back on, and we'll have Sam from All Voting is Local on to talk about some of the voting topics. Anything else y'all want to say to the folks? Shout outs or anything? This is your time. Go on ahead.
I love to shout out Milwaukee, man.
Shout out Milwaukee, baby.
I would say improve at 1% a day.
Yeah.
Just improve at just a little bit a day. Mm-hmm. And in a year, that's a lot of improvement. I say that's 365% if you improve by 1% a day.
Sounds like it to me. Talking about doubling it up then, huh?
Yeah, so that's it. We ain't gonna be able to change.
Yeah.
Fast, but we can do this.
Yeah. And we will. We definitely
100%.
will. He said, shout out to the sponsors.
Yeah,
All right.
definitely.
All right.
Can't do it without them.
No, you can't. That's real.
Yeah.
All right. Well, again, fellas, just thank y'all for coming on. And I'm sure I'll be in contact with y'all, and I'll be seeing y'all both individually across the city and other spaces. Bryan Sanders here, Wisconsin Voices, Be a Voice Radio. God bless y'all. WNOB. Thank you again. We'll see y'all tomorrow.